back to part 2 of ranking every single GTA DLC of all time. And in the last video, part 1, we did 32 to 17, so the first 16, and now we're doing the best of the best. And yeah, so I'm ranking these off of like how many good cars they have, is the money any good, and also if any weapons were added. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Starting off at number 16, we got the Criminal Enterprises update. This DLC only brought contact missions, which is the ULP missions, and those aren't very good, but you can get an IAA badge that way. And it also nerfed the Oppressor Mark II, which I think I should mention. And the top 5 vehicles were the Weevil Custom, which I thought that vehicle came out long before then, but I was kind of shocked to see that. Vigero ZX, which with HSW is one of the fastest cars in the game to this day. The Draugr, which is a nice off-road vehicle. The Torero XO, which is, I can't remember if it has HSW, but that's another fast car. It's like a Lamborghini. And the LM87, this is one of the fastest cars in the game still without HSW. And the weapons added were the precision rifle, which I'm not a big fan of, and the service carbine, which is actually probably my go-to weapon. And yeah, so overall this DLC kind of mediocre for like a big DLC, especially in like the recent years, but yeah, still good enough to make the top 16. So let's get into the next one. Number 15, we got the Los Santos Drug War. This DLC saw 2 parts come with the first dose and the last dose missions. And the first one came with the Acid Lab, and the second one came with the Virtue. And the Acid Lab is one of the best passive businesses in the game today. And yeah, and the Virtue is a pretty decent Amani Tech vehicle, I'd say, in my opinion. And this DLC also added the 50 car garage, which is one of my favorite properties in the game. And the best vehicles added were the Entity MT, that's probably a car, Brigade 6x6, which is the Acid Lab, the Delivery Bike, which I'm pretty sure was in the game before, but I think now it has like more customization and liveries and stuff, the Issy Rally, and obviously the Virtue. So this was, I want to say, like my first GTA DLC where I like really played it, so that's why I kind of put a little bias in it, and I kind of ranked it a little higher than it maybe should be, but yeah, it's my list, so what are you going to do about it? Yeah. Into the next one. Number 14, I was actually shocked that this one even made the list this high. It's the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC, which if you've watched any of my videos for a little while now, you know I absolutely hated this DLC. Like, I mean, hate. And yeah. So this DLC brought the Bail Enforcement Office, which pays you like 40k per thing. And if it's like a priority one, it's like 150k, but the business itself costs like $4 million. And the top 5 vehicles are the Dorado Cruiser, which is actually a decent off-road police car. And then the Niobe, which is a very fast HSW. I'm pretty sure it's second now that the new Banshee came out. And Paragon S, which is an okay Amani Tech vehicle. The Volkswagen, which is my favorite drift car in the game, in my opinion. And the Pipistrello, which is a kind of mediocre, like, supercar, I guess. And also, I forgot to mention this in the intro. Agents of Sabotage is not on here yet. I'll probably, like, do, like, a different type of ranking video with that, like, once everything has came out, at a drip feed and all that. So, yeah, just wait for that. And also, yeah, the main reason why I hate this DLC is the overpriced cop cars. It added like, I want to say 6 or 7 of them, and they were like $5 million each. So yeah, that's basically my rant for the video. And yeah, let's get into number 13. Number 13 might come as a surprise to some people, but I have the Los Santos Tuners update, which introduced us to the LS Car Mate and the Auto Workshop, which obviously has like those robberies with Santa and the other guy. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, I don't know what his name is. And also you can store and customize vehicles, which I'm pretty sure if you customize the vehicles in the auto shop, then they're actually like discounted by a little bit, like the customizations are. And yeah, and a lot of vehicles were added, a lot of fun vehicles, a lot of customization. My favorites are the top 5 being the Anus Euros, Fudo GTX, the Anus Remus, the Cypher, and the Jester RR, which I'm pretty sure most of those have drift tuning capabilities, which I'm a big fan of drift tuning on some cars, but if it's like the Karen Fudo GTX, I don't know why, I just don't like the drift tuning on that car. But yeah, so overall, decent DLC, and yeah, let's get into number 12. At number 12, we got the Bikers DLC. This introduced us to the MC clubhouses, and it also added all of the other D-Rug businesses. I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube. So D-Rug, sure you guys can sound it out. And yeah, and those brought like blue stuff, Coca-Cola, grass, counterfeit cash, stuff like that. And yeah, a lot of bunch of vehicles are added, including the Akachu, which is a good stunt bike. And yeah, for weapons, there's actually a lot of weapons. We got the Battle Axe, Compact Grenade Launcher, Mini SMG, Pipe Bomb, Pipe Wrench, Pool Cue, and the Sweeper Shotgun. Now, are any of these weapons really used anymore? No, but at the time, I'd say they probably were. And yeah, let's get into 11. We have the Import Export, which brought us CEO office garages and vehicle warehouses, which in my opinion are meh at best. I know you can make like decent amount of money with the vehicle warehouses, but it kind of just takes a while. And yeah, it also added the Phantom Wedge, which is the semi with the little scoop on it, the ramp buggy, which is quite literally what it sounds like, it's a ramp buggy, Rocket Voltic, which I believe is the first rocket powered car in the game. Now we have stuff like the Toreador and stuff like that, and the LG Retro Custom, which is one of my favorite Benny's vehicles, and the Fister Comet Retro Custom, which is another one of my favorite Benny's vehicles. And also no weapons were added, so that's kind of unfortunate, but also not that big of a deal. For number 10, we have Further Adventures in Finance. And this DLC brought office properties, which are still very good to this day, bringing cargo warehouses to the game, which, you know, pretty good. And for the vehicles, we have the Fister 811, the Reaper, which I believe is Bugatti, FMJ, which is Vapid, Bestia GTS, and the X80 Proto. And the X80 Proto does suck. There just wasn't a lot to choose from out of this DLC. And yeah, no new weapons in this DLC. So overall, the vehicles, mid, business, pretty good, I'd say. And yeah, that earns it the 10th slot. At number 9, this is going to be very controversial, but I have the Heists update. Now, this is the update that saved GTA Online, and also brought 5 new heists, which are the Series A Funding, Fleeka Job, Humane Labs Raid, the Pacific Standard Heist, and the Prison Break. Now, my only issue with this one is it takes 4 people to play most of these, except for the Fleeka Heist. And also, you don't really get paid that much with these either. So, yeah. And top 5 vehicles added were the Hydra, which I do not like the Hydra at all, the Insurgent Pickup, Armored Kuruma, and the Savage, which I do like the Savage. And the one weapon was added was the Flare Gun. And yeah, so overall, I mean, the heists are pretty fun if you're playing with friends, but if you're playing with randoms, that's nearly impossible to finish most of them. And yeah, so that might be controversial, but yeah, let's just get into number 8. We got the Chop Shop DLC, which is technically the second most recent on this list. And per car, it's around 300k if you sell it, so that's how much you can make per heist. And you can do it solo, which that's why it's above the heist update. And it's not really that bad at all. And some vehicles you can actually keep, which that's pretty good. And it also added the Cluck and Bell heist, which that's another reason why it's above just the heists in general, which pays 500k for around like 5 to 6 setups, And the top 5 vehicles added in this DLC are the Vigero ZX, I think that's the Cabrio version, Police Gauntlet Interceptor, which is, I guess, the best cop car until the new Coquette D10, the Terminus, which is my favorite iMoney Tech vehicle, Turismo Amagio, and the Karen Vivinite, which is kind of a mid HSW vehicle. And it also added the Christmas semi that would drive around the map and drop gifts for the Christmas update that came out probably in last December. And the new weapons added were the battle rifle, which isn't that great of an AR, and the snowball launcher, which is a pretty fun meme like weapon to just mess around with your friends. And yeah, so that's why it is number 8. And this might be another controversial one, but I combined 2 of them together. It is the Casino and the Casino Heist update. Now, these DLCs brought Agatha Baker penthouse missions and the heist itself, and also obviously the arcade. And it brought cars like the Krieger, Gauntlet Hellfire, Issy Sport, and some F1 cars, and also the Morgan. And it also brought the RC tank, which it's okay, I guess. And the new weapons were the Somatic pistol and the Navy revolver. Now, in my opinion, is the heist good? Yes. Are the Agatha Baker missions good? Not necessarily, but I mean, they might have some play value the first time around. And the second point I wanted to make is I think the cars actually really hurt this DLC. Like, sure, the Krieger's okay, the Morgan is really not. The SE Sport is good. The Gauntlet Hellfire is just okay in my opinion. And also the F1 cars are very overpriced. So, yeah, it also brought a ton more cars, but these are just the top 5. So, yeah, that's my reasoning for why the Casino Heist isn't higher on the list. 6, I got Smuggers Run. This update brought us the hangar properties, which is a very good business. You get 30k per crate. And yeah, so the best vehicles, this is where it gets really good, were the Starlane, which probably like my top 3 jets in the game, Pyro, Vigilante, which is the Batmobile, FH1 Hunter, and also the Laser. The Laser, back in the day before it was nerfed, was so crazy. Like, it was actually amazing. And it is also very expensive though too. So yeah, also no new weapons were added, but yeah, that's only 6 too. We got 5 more that are better than that. That's just kind of crazy. Let's just get into it at number 5. Top 5, we got the Gunrunning update. This update brought the bunker into the game, which is still one of the best businesses in the game. If you let it fill up all the way, you get around $1 million per sale, which is pretty good. And there's also a lot of good vehicles on this list. And there wasn't, like, it was too hard to just pick 5, so I just list off the best. We got the anti-aircraft carrier, APC tank, half-track, the Mobile Operations Center, Oppressor Mark 1, Insurgent Pickup Custom, and the Night Shark. Some of the best weaponized vehicles in the game were added during this update. And it also added some of the best weapons, and those being the MK2 weapons, which this DLC introduced us to. And yeah, so honestly, I could see this being even higher, but it's just, yeah, let's just get to the next one. Coming in at number 4, we got the Contract DLC. This update brought us the Agency, which for the Dr. Dre contract pays exactly $1 million. And yeah, it also brought the short trip missions and security contracts. And it also added the addition of payphone hits, which I'm pretty sure were nerfed and only pay like 45k, but they respawn every like 10 minutes or so, which is still good. And the best vehicles added were the Buffalo STX, Ignis, Champion, Comet S2, which I'm gonna customize a Comet S2 soon, and the Shinobi, which is a very good bike in the game. And 3 new weapons were added, those being the compact EMP launcher, heavy rifle, and a stun gun. I've had a lot of funny clips that I've had with the stun gun, And yeah, it's just a pretty fun weapon. So yeah, the contract is number 4. Now let's get to number 3. 3, we got the Doomsday Heist update. This brought facilities, and yeah, so the heist itself is pretty annoying, but also pretty fun with friends at the same time. And it brought a ton of new vehicles, those being the Akula, Avenger, Chernobog, Deluxo, Kinjali, and the Thruster. It also brought 6 new MK2 weapons, and also the double action revolver. And it also brought the orbital cannon. So honestly, if you want to put this even higher, you can. But in my opinion, I think this list is obviously very good because I'm the one who made it. But yeah, I think the top 2 are easily the best in GTA Online history. Let's get into them right now. Coming in at number 2, we got the Kopro Heist. I know, it's not one. But the Kopro Heist is the highest paying heist in all of GTA Online. It's also one of the best purchasable like businesses / properties, that being the Kasadka. And yeah, to this day, it's been nerfed to the ground, but it is still the best heist in the game, which just kind of amazes me. And the best vehicles is going to start off really good, but then kind of fall off. We got the Kasadka, Sparrow, Toreador, and I was kind of stuck here because there's not a lot of great vehicles. Then I put the Vito Modern, that's literally a go-kart, and the Itali RSX. And the new weapons added were the combat shotgun, military rifle, and the Preco pistol. So overall, you could put this at 1 and I would not be mad, but in my opinion, number 1 is just the perfect DLC all around. Now, get into it right now. Opinion, the best DLC that GTA Online has ever seen, and I think will ever see, is the After Hours update. This update brought the best AFK business in the game with the nightclub, and it gets you 50k from the safe every 48 minutes. Not only that, the storage with the crates downstairs gets you around $1 million per sale if you run out right. And also, not only that, there's also tons of garage space too. I believe there's 4 levels, 10 cars each, and there's like a service entrance. So there's 41 cars with the nightclub as well. And if you run it right, you can make so much money. I've made at least 80 million with this business. And somehow we're not even on the best part. So obviously the money is very, very good, but the vehicles are even better. This DLC brought us the B-11 Strike Force, which is in top 5 dogfighting planes in the game. The Menacer, which is a worse version of the Night Shark, but it's still a very good vehicle. The Scramjet, which is a very underrated weaponized vehicle. I'd put it up there with like the Toreador and Deluxo in my opinion. The Terabyte, and the most overpowered vehicle in GTA Online history. The Oppressor Mark II. So that is why this DLC is the best. It also brought a one-tap melee weapon, that being the Stone Hatchet. So yeah, that is my list for the top 16 DLCs in GTA Online history. Let me know your thoughts on this list down below. And if you liked the video, obviously consider subscribing and liking the video, obviously. And yeah, so at the time of recording this, I have 428 followers, and by the end of the year, I'm either trying to get to 450 or 500. And yeah, so right now, I'm 22 subscribers away from getting the 450 mark. So yeah, that's my next goal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like, and peace out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.